Hello, student. Very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy, and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think yesterday we were discuss about the minus sicimic acid, the one of the natural product, its retrosynthesis and how it is synthesized in the laboratory by using the Chiron approach, by keeping Chiron perspective, and we have synthesized, we have discussed that molecule. And now as we know that we are generally discussing or the studying the paper number or the course number, new syllabus, that is a CBOP3. And as we know that CBOP3 means what? Core choice based. C stand for choice based optional paper 3, that is elective paper. You have a option, but here we have selected the option is that is the word course name is a CHO 353. A option we have selected, and in A option, as compared to the previous courses, like as a 350, CHO 350, CHO 351, CHO 352. This one is a CHO 353A option is we have chosen. So there are again two sections are there. Section first involves the P and D. P means protection, D protection, and Chiron approach. This deals with the section first, and in a section second, the section second is a carbohydrate chemistry. So in first section, look at here section number first, PD. Here you remember P stand for protection, D for D protection, and the Chiron approach, 24 lecture and 6 tutorials. I think we have completed the first section. As far as this section is concerned, we have covered this, we have completed section number first, and now today onward we are going to discuss or the start the section number second, and section number second is a carbohydrate chemistry. It has the same weightage, section first and section second, 24 lecture required to complete this syllabus, and there are the 6 tutorials. T stand for tutorials, and so that is the tutorial. You will get the regularly some home assignment or that tutorial over there. So let us see here what are the point we have to discuss, we have to see in this section number second, carbohydrate chemistry. What does it mean? The carbohydrate chemistry, in a case of that whatever we have seen here in a Chiron approach, there mainly we have seen as a carbohydrate chemistry. In a somewhat there we have approaching the Chiron approach, and we have see that the carbohydrate is a essential what we can call it as a essential nutrient or the constituent present in our diet. Do you know that diet require as carbohydrates, and how that carbohydrate, where it is present, how it is generated, and we know that all the green plants containing as a carbohydrates, and that carbohydrate how it is stored, how the constituent of that all the plants are the constituent of the carbohydrate, and as we know that in the photosynthesis, the plant due to the presence of chlorophyll, and that form as a carbohydrate and the energy in under the sunlight. As we know, that is the general phenomenon how the carbohydrates are generated and how it is essential in our diet. So that are the thing regarding that carbohydrate. So that carbohydrate chemistry, and which is naturally present, and it is present in a huge amount, and that's why we in a first section during that Chiron approach we have considered as a starting material, because that starting material is a very safer, what we can call it as a easily available, and the whatever a natural stereo selective chemistry means that the stereochemistry is a highly stereospecific reactions are there, only that reactions are taking place, and we got the many natural products, and how it is essential for the or that for this carbohydrate is there. So that type of the thing we have seen there. And now here the basic of carbohydrates. In a basic, what we are going to how it is generated. So the introduction of sugars, how that sugars, and as we know that sugars is alternative name of that sugar is the saccharides are there. So that type of the introduction, how it is generated, how it is produced. So that type of the thing we are going to learn under the heading introduction of sugars and their structure of monosaccharide. There are the different types. Saccharide in I think it is a Greek word. Saccharide means nothing but as a sugar, and monosaccharide, and the units are, and mainly these are the generally there are the different type of the carbohydrates like as sucrose, maltose or lactose. So that type of the what we can call it as sugars, and on hydrolysis we are getting as a different type of the separate monomer type of the units. So like as starting a very simplest structure of that we can call it as a reference compound in a carbohydrate chemistry is known as a glyceraldehyde. And how the glyceraldehyde is obtained, how that generated, what are the names of that carbohydrate that is a glyceraldehyde, why it is called as a reference compound, and most of them why again as a D configuration, why it is designated or assigned as a D configuration. So that type of the thing we are going to see here, monosaccharide. And then triose. Triose means again is a 3 carbon atom, and simplest triose is a glyceraldehyde, and how it has a chiral center, only one chiral centers are present, and how it is represented by using as a different formulas are there. Mainly carbohydrate chemistry specifically studied on the basis by using as a Fischer projection formula, and as we know that Fischer projection formula, it is one of the best way to represent the organic molecule on the blackboard, or what we can call it as in the book, to understand its property, stereochemical property, physical property as well as chemical property to understand, and therefore we should visualize that molecule that in a 3-dimensional. So the study of that organic compound on 3-dimensional structures. So for that these carbohydrates are mainly represented on the basis of Fischer projection formula. There are the certain rules are there. The normally these organic molecules are written vertically, carbon skeleton or carbon framework kept as vertically, and most oxidizable compound, most oxidizable if a functional group, it is present, it is kept at the top and remaining groups are arranged horizontally, and that is the lowest one is the bottom. And then why it is designated as a D and capital D and capital L are the relative configuration. It is a nomenclature method used for naming this type of the organic compound. So this is the what we can call it as a way to represent that, so that sugar molecules, that triose indicate as a there are 3 carbon atoms are there, and last suffix OSE is called as a sugar unit. It is one of the sugar unit. So simplest one is a triose, then next one is a pentose, hexose, and then D and L form of that structure. Hexose mainly we are going hexose, and as we know that there is a suppose as a reference compound is a D glyceraldehyde, how it is nomenclature, how it is assigned, that we will see over there. And then next one is aldose or the ketose. And again, as we know that carbohydrate, according to the definition of that carbohydrates, the carbohydrates are, there are the different definitions are given by the different scientists, but specifically here remember the definition of the carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is nothing, it is a polyhydroxy. Poly means what? Different. Poly means many. Hydroxy, polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone is known as a carbohydrate. It is the simplest example or the definition of that carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is containing polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone is known as a carbohydrates. And so that is the simplest. And there the one of the functional group is containing as a CHO. Aldehyde, it is the group present mainly in that carbohydrate, and another one is a ketone. Sometime it containing as a carbonyl groups are there, means that ketone group. And as we know that aldehyde means the functional group CHO, sometime it is referred as a fermyl group, and ketone group or the C double bond O carbonyl group, ketonic group. So both are present over there. And in addition to that, polyhydroxy means many hydroxy groups are attached to that carbon atom, but that hydroxy groups are present or attached at a different carbon atom, and therefore they are termed as a what we can call it as a polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone is known as a carbohydrate. So that is the simplest definition of that carbohydrate. And aldose and aldose and ketose, not the ketone here, ketose, aldose and ketose. Aldose indicate as aldehyde containing in that sugar unit, ketonic group present in that sugar unit. OSE indicate as a OSE indicate as a sugar unit, remember here. And in these aldose and ketose we are going to see, or we are going to study by using the Fischer projection formula. I already told you that Fischer projection formula is generally used to study the three-dimensional structure of the organic compound by using this formula. So we can understood its physical properties as well as chemical properties of this organic, of this carbohydrate, and that's why this is that we are going to. And then cyclic hemiacetal, because in a Fischer projection formula generally the compounds are open chain, and open chain compound aldehyde group or ketonic group, they are giving some of the properties are showing by this aldehyde or the ketone group, but some of the properties do not shown or do not given by that aldehyde or the open chain compound, and therefore there is a cyclic compound is formed, and that cyclic compound the giving different property which is not shown by the open chain compound, and that's why we are going to learn, we are going to study the cyclic hemiacetal type of the sugar unit over there, then of monosaccharide. And as we know that in a Greek word, saccharide is nothing but as a sugar unit, saccharide. Then representation of this monosaccharide, we are going to see classification of that carbohydrates, just like as a monosaccharide, then oligosaccharide, polygosaccharide. So these carbohydrates are mainly classified into as a three types. One is a monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, and the polysaccharide. These are the three main classification of this carbohydrate. On that monosaccharide do not hydrolyze, because as we know that these carbohydrates are mainly hydrolyzed by using using with the help of acid, or what we can call it as a dilute sulfuric acid or the hydrochloric acid. On hydrolysis they are produces the sugar unit. So monosaccharide do not get hydrolyzed, because it is one of the simplest, what we can call it, it is a sugar unit, it do not get hydrolyzed. But the examples, there are different example we are going to learn over there. Then oligosaccharide further divided into as a two type, disaccharide on hydrolysis yielding 2 to 10 type of the sugar unit, like as a disaccharide, trisaccharide, tetrasaccharide. And polysaccharides are again, there are the on hydrolysis yielding 200 to 1000 type of the molecules are present over there, and that's why it is called as a polysaccharides. So by using the Fischer projection formula, zigzag structure, as we know that the organic compound is we are using as a zigzag pattern. It is a very what we can call it as, it's a very easy, very clear, and it saves the time to represent that molecule, and that's why zigzag structures has more benefit as compared to as a other structure. Then Mills-Haworth projection formula, as we know that if the open some of the properties are not shown by the open chain carbohydrate, so are like as a glucose if you consider, and some of them are shown by the cyclic structure, and therefore the Haworth projection formula is better over the Fischer projection formula to understand that what kind of the structure, that cyclic structures are more chair form of the structure. Like this Haworth projection formula, that is the chair conformation. And mainly why chair conformation, as we know that 6-membered ring are according to as a Beer-Stein theory, and most stable conformation is a chair conformation, because the bulky groups are generally present at equatorial position, but while forming as a this cyclic compound, there are the 1 oxygen atom and 5 carbon atom and form as a 6-membered ring. How they are stable, how to represent it, and there we are getting as alpha and beta D-glucopyranose structure. What are those structures? That also we are going to learn in this case. And then what again is the next one, structure of glucose, the anomeric conformation. Structure of glucose, we are how to represent, how to easiest way to remember that glucose structure, how to draw it, that we are going to learn here. Then anomeric configuration, muta rotation specifically with respect to that, D-glucose, anomeric effect. Generally we are going to write the glucose in the form of cyclic form, and then what would be the anomeric configuration. What do you mean by epimer, anomers, anomeric effect, muta rotation with respect to the D-glucose, then conformation of monosaccharide anomeric effect, then modified monosaccharide, alditols, cyclistols, nomenclature of monosaccharide cyclic forms of alpha and beta D-glucose. So these are the things we are going to learn here in this particular case, that is in the what we can call it as in this chapter, that is a carbohydrate chemistry. So monosaccharide, alditols, cyclistols, if you remember while studying suppose as a aldehyde group, open chain aldehyde group get protected by that ethanol in presence, catalytic amount of acid is required and get protected, and what form, that is a hemiacetal type of the compounds are formed, and hemiacetal, and then it form 2 moles are consumed, and we are getting as that carbonyl group get protected, that form we are knowing, that is a acetal formations are there. Acetal formation means what? Open chain aldehyde group get protected by using such a type of the protecting group, suitable protecting group, and resulting compound is formed is a acetaldehyde. So that type of the thing we are going to learn over here, that is a alditol. And cyclitols means suppose as a ketone group, by using as a ketone, as we know that if you talk about the reactivity between aldehyde and the ketone, aldehydes are more reactive than the ketone. And why aldehyde more reactive than the ketone? There are the different electronic factor which affect and decided the reactivity of that aldehyde is more as compared to as ketone. And as we know that there are some different electronic effect, like as the inductive effect, resonance effect, hyperconjugative effect, steric effect, hydrogen bonding, tautomerism. These are the different electronic effect that decided the reactivity of that molecule. On the basis of we can assign, we can decide the reactivity of that organic molecule, why some of the molecule, organic molecule, more reactive over the another molecule, by considering these factor into mind, and we are arranging them, we are deciding their reactivity. And so like the nomenclature of monocyclic form of alpha and beta D-glucose, nomenclature. And as we know that nomenclature means in particularly in the organic chemistry there are the various method for the nomenclature, means the systematic way of giving the name of the organic compound is known as a nomenclature system, the common name system, IUPAC name system, some of the acronyms are there. So these are the different nomenclature system. In particularly here also we are going to learn about the nomenclature system of that carbohydrates. So generally as a monocyclic form of alpha and beta D-glucose. Alpha, so whether they are above the plane or below the plane, because the cyclic structure is formed by reacting the hydroxy group. Particularly there are the different hydroxyl groups are present over there, and if you consider there are the molecular formula, if you remember, of that D-glucose having as a C6H12O6, and if you draw the structure on the basis of that Fischer projection formula, and you have to write the at the top the CHO group and at the bottom CH2OH, means according to our definition the carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehyde or the ketone is known as carbohydrates, means the aldehyde group get reacted with that hydroxy group. The hydroxy group which is present at fifth carbon atom, means that fifth carbon atom the low there are chiral centers, and as we know that chiral center, again chiral means what? The carbon atom carrying 4 different group is known as a chiral center or the chiral carbon atom, or we can call it as a asymmetric carbon atom. So, and by using that the lowest chiral carbon atom, and then we are deciding that is if that hydroxy group OH are present on the right hand side, then we can designate or we can give the name of that carbohydrate is a D-glucose, and all the naturally occurring carbohydrates are having D configuration. And when that hydroxy group, there are in case of the D-glucose, means hydroxy, why we are calling as a D-glucose? That D is nothing but as a relative configuration, and when that hydroxy group is present on right hand side, then we are referring it as a D glucose and D glucose. And when that 5-hydroxy group, means 5 the hydroxy group attached to as a 5 carbon atom, when reacted with that carbonyl group, and there will be a formation of 6-membered ring which is in the form of that chair conformation, or according to as a Haworth projection formula. So our Haworth projection formula is a better way to represent that chair conformation or the alpha beta type of the, and that depending upon the side, if that OH is below the plane, then we can refer it as a beta D glucose. If that hydroxy group are on the beta side, then we are above the plane, that side is known as a beta D glucose, or glucopyranose or nomenclature system also we have seen. So that type of the thing we are going to learn there. Then next one is a B is a synthesis of glycosides. Glycosides means glycosyl donor acceptor concept. Then general method for glycosyl bond, how it is formed. So that synthesis of glycosides and glycosidic bond, how it is in the peptide synthesis, we have seen during the protection and deprotection how the peptide bonds are formed, and that peptide bonds are what we can call it as they are the amide bonds, how they are formed there by there are near about as 20 different amino acids are there, and they are chiral in nature except the glycine first. Glycine is achiral in nature. Achiral means there are 2 hydrogen groups are there, and therefore it is achiral, and rest of the natural amino acids are L configuration and having as a S configuration. Here when OH is on the right hand side, then you can always remember without giving us a priority number and sequence, as we know that sequence rule or the CIP rule. CIP rule means what? CIP. There are the 3 scientists name. C stand for corn, I for ingold, and P for Prelog. According to that, you have to assign, you have to give the priority number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then look, and then see the rotation, whether it is the rotation of that is whether in clockwise manner or the anti-clockwise manner. And as we know that these carbohydrates are optically active in nature, because they rotate the plane of polarization either right hand side or the left hand side. So that type of the rotation and optical activity, it is one of the physical property of the organic compound, and which gives the optical activity, giving us a very valuable information about that particular organic compound. And next, this type of the thing we are going to learn here, glycosyl donor, which is a donor, and the acceptor concept and general method for how it is formed, so these type of the thing we are going to learn in this particular point. And next one is a synthesis of disaccharides, trisaccharides, polysaccharides, or the stereoselective synthesis of D-mannosides, synthesis of deoxysugars, orthogonal strategies in oligosaccharides, synthesis extra. There are so many things also is there, but the blackboard is limited over there, and that's why I have written only as a selected point. The more detail of that syllabus you can visit to the website of Savitribai Phule Pune University Pune, according to as a new syllabus introduced from July 2020. So you can get all the point to point, but here those are some important points I am only written over here. Synthesis of disaccharide, trisaccharide, oligosaccharide. As we know that oligosaccharides are further divided into three types. One is a disaccharide on hydrolysis producing a 2 sugar unit like as a glucose, galactose, then what we can call it as a fructose. By combination of these, what are that maltose, then cellulose, sucrose, then what we can call the lactose, maltose, what are those sugars, how we can see there, synthesis of disaccharide, then trisaccharides, polysaccharides. So stereoselective, as we know that there are the different possibility of formation of the product, but selectively one of them is a major and another one is a minor. So why one is a major and why another one is a minor? So that type of the selectivity, that is known as a stereoselective reaction, highly, because all the naturally occurring reactions are, as I already told you, that they are highly selective in nature. So that type of the selectivity we are going to learn here. Why only as a D-mannose, then synthesis of deoxysugar, as we know that in RNA and DNA you might have heard these two terms. There are the sugar units are present, and deoxy means at 2 position there is a hydroxy group is not there, it is completely removed from there, and so that is termed as a deoxy sugar unit, how it is there. So that we are going to see. Then orthogonal strategy, we are going to learn that orthogonal strategy while synthesizing that oligosaccharide, polygosaccharide, trisaccharide, tetrasaccharide. So this type of the synthesis we are going to see in detail by using, because those are the natural product. How we can synthesize those natural product by using some selective or the proper pair, the what we can call it as a suitable reagent, and keeping the reaction condition, proper reaction condition, by carrying out the reaction mainly at room temperature and the pressure, so that we can minimize the energy efficiency or the efficiency of energy, and we can get the maximum yield, safer, and what we can call it as a specific reagent or the suitable reagent. As we know that the catalyst, by using as a suitable catalyst, we can speed up, we can increase the rate of the reaction. I think this is all the discussion about this syllabus, and tomorrow onward we are going to start actually the basic of carbohydrates with the introduction of sugar, and what is that carbohydrate, or how the nomenclature or classification of that carbohydrate, mainly monosaccharide, all these things we will see tomorrow. I think with this, let us stop today here. Thank you. Have a nice day.